자, 두 번째 세트가 시작이 됐어요. 지금 보시는 STX 11시 초록색 그리고 빨간색 정현정 선수. 자, 지금 만약에
For SK Telecom T1, his name is Rain.
Deer recently going overseas, participating at MLG, losing the Naniwa as well, 0-2. So, you know, that leads me to think that Rain's going to have a bit of an advantage here, despite his 4-game losing streak in PvP.
Well, you also have to count the fact that Deer, he played in a field that, you know, he didn't really study his opponent Naniwa before playing his MLG matches. And also, the jet lag comes into the play as these Kesper players, they are on a tight schedule going overseas. Within Korea, Deer has been doing a little bit better in PvP this particular matchup, and Rain hasn't been doing so far. So personally, from my note, I have to say Rain is the underdog in this particular matchup. But you know, losing to Naniwa, of course, hurts. You know, losing to a foreigner in a foreign tournament. The Kespa players always tell themselves they're the best in the scene, and losing to a foreigner does not make them feel good.
Nah, they're very prideful about that fact. And I was actually talking to Naniwa a little bit yesterday, and he said that when he was playing in the tournament, that players like Deer, he felt them being kind of fearful and very nervous because, like, oh, I have to play against a foreigner, what if I lose, kind of thing. And, you know, he really used that against his opponent. Now we're in a very high-pressure situation once again because it is the playoffs. And, you know, a player like Rain has a little bit more experience on the main stage and in high-pressure scenarios. So, you know, that's why he's my go-to guy in this match.
Yeah, and it really depends on how what Deer's mindset is going into today's playoff match. It might be the same as he was back at MLG. He might be really nervous against his opponent today, or he might feel a little bit more comfortable because he is playing in the Yongsan Esports Stadium.
That's true. So we do have no proxies at this point. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing any this game.
Well, it seems like both players want to play a macro PvP game against their opponent and just try to headbutt against their opponent head on and make sure, you know, even when we go for same build in this particular matchup, we're gonna win no matter what because I am the better player in this matchup.
Yep. Alright, second gate being added here from Rain. And I believe no second gate from his opponent, Deer. Deer's just making a Zealot right here. And probably out on a Stalker after we're getting that Warp Gate research now as well. He's got 3 guys in each gas, so we should see the tech come down from him pretty soon here. You can also go ahead and get the Militia Core if he wants. We do have a Sentry now on the way, along with the Militia Core from Rain. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for an expansion build.
Yeah. Yeah, he is opening up the safest build in PvP, going for the Sentry first instead of Zealot or Stalker, getting a Mothership Core behind us, which means that once he gets up to 400 minerals, he could just go for the Nexus, put the Nexus cannon down, and defend until he has better economy than his opponent.
Alright, the tech choice from Deer is going to be the Twilight tech. You can either see Blink or Dark Templars in this situation. And from Rain, he's building 2 additional Stalkers here. Interesting.
We still don't see the tech from Rain just yet, but he is spending all of those minerals into Stalkers right now. So it's not like he's just trying to save up the minerals and trying to get a Nexus behind this. He is getting some units out. We're still not seeing any tech, but it seems like Rain just wanted to double check that there was no proxy in the 3rd location over there.
Rain actually adding on a 2nd Sentry here. And oh, looks like we do have the Dark Shrine from Deer. That's going to be what he wants to go down as far as his tech choice. And we see additional sentries being built here by Rain as well. Alright, looks like he's going to go ahead and expand, I believe. He's getting a probe in position over there. He almost has enough resources. Bam, Nexus going down at the natural. We should see a Robo follow-up from here as well. And the Sentry almost has enough energy for the Hallucinate. And the Phoenix, he's going to be able to scout the Dark Shrine before it's complete. And that'll give Rain enough time to deal with his opponent's threat and harassment.
Yeah, and comparing this second match to the first match, Deer is rolling the dice once again, using the DTs to pretty much harass his opponent's economy. But the problem is Rain is playing as safe as possible. The Robo is already 1/3 done. The Hallucinated Phoenix goes inside the main base, does scout the Dark Shrine, so he knows what he is dealing against with. So Rain, he's in a fantastic position.
Indeed he is. He's built a few sentries early on. He's got a good amount of gateway units as well. The Robo about to complete. The Dark Templars are simply going to do nothing this game against Rain's army. And you know what? This is just a fantastic position for SK Telecom to be in right now. Rain, he's going to be ahead over his opponent economically, and he's even going to potentially be able to deny the scout as well, which is a nice little maneuver that Rain's doing here.
Yeah, well, Deer, of course, the Phoenixes are fast. Gonna go inside the main base. Scout was over there. We do have the first CT walking towards the natural, but he is turning back towards the sensor tower over there, which is actually a nice decision. He doesn't want to lose the DTs to the single observer and a couple of stalkers at the ramp.
Indeed. All right, second observer on the way for Rain. He's got a good amount of gateway units now, actually. You know, he's got a handful of sentries, some zealots, some stalkers added into the mix. Now securing that natural location, bringing some probes there as well to help saturate it, building a proxy pylon on the top right hand of the screen. We could see Rain try to go for some aggression in the mid game here. He is sending his units across the map. The only thing to really be concerned about is the Dark Templar potentially running by when Rain has no defenses at his natural or main.
Well, I do believe he's going to split up some units at the natural because, of course, sending all of the units to the main base when the DTs are out on the field is suicidal. So it's better for him to maybe leave some sentries or 1 or 2 stalkers, build an Immortal behind this, and just defend at the natural with minimum units while applying pressure against his opponent.
Yeah, we do have an Immortal in production now, I believe, and we're going to see Rain wants to apply some pressure here. Nexus Cannon being put down almost instantly there. The Observer also in position, but the Observer could get potentially sniped here. Rain cannot let us know. Oh, excellent force fields though, trapping all of the sentries as well as the Stalker. A few of Rain's units are getting trapped as well, but he's, I think, going to be able to just overpower his opponent. He has a forward pylon, and, you know, we do have 1 Immortal out for our STX Soul player, but I don't know if that's enough. There's simply a ridiculous unit advantage for Rain.
Yeah, Rain needs to start making more units behind this, make sure he has enough units to take out the Immortal. 1 force field goes down, but does not trap the Immortal.
All right, the Dark Templar now moving towards the natural of Rain. Does he have any defenses here to deal with it? I believe no, there's nothing there. Where's the Observer? The Dark Templar going to start picking off a few units here. Nexus Cannon going on the natural. There he goes.
You can see the DT and take it out. The problem is at the natural, force fields ends to 2 Immortals inside the main base. The Nexus Cannon is eating away on a lot of the units, but does get the Mothership Core too. And once the cannon runs out, he can just force field the ramp immediately and take out the Nexus. But no, Rain lost too many units while applying the pressure against his opponent.
Yeah, he did. And, you know, suddenly we have a supply advantage for Deer.
Yeah, the problem is he was trying to press forward, but he didn't kill too many units. And now look at this. He's trying to pick off on the Immortals, but he doesn't have any units to pick off the Immortals. In fact, the Zos can eat away on the Stalkers behind the Immortals, so Rain has to run back home and start chrono boosting out Immortals behind this. But it's not like it's over for Rain because he was making a lot of probes behind this. Both players have the same economy flowing in right now. The only difference is Deer has better firepower with 3 Immortals, while Rain does not have any Immortal in his army.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you know, Rain, he wanted to go for an attack. He kind of wanted to finish it off early, feeling like he had a large advantage over his opponent due to the, you know, the tech differences and the overall build orders. But the Nexus Cannon, it just helped out a little bit too much there. Rain lacked the critical amount of units to finish off his opponent. The control and force fields were pretty solid, but just it wasn't enough.
And it seems like Deer, he's skirting towards third base right now as he knows that his opponent was chrono boosting out a lot of gateway army, which means that he's not going to have too many, you know, the beefy army in his main army composition, such as the Immortals or even Colossus.
All right, we do have the +1 starting for both players around the same time, and this Observer over here, I don't think it can get picked off. Deer knows about it, but he's like, well, can't do anything about that, unfortunately. Do you have the War Prism about to complete here? And it's going to be spotted by Rain as well, so he's going to have to use that knowledge to his advantage. He actually may have not spotted that. That'd be pretty huge if he didn't. We do have a Templar Archives and 3 additional gateways on the way now for Rain as he moves into the Charge Lot Archon tech while his opponent goes for the Colossi.
Yeah, well, we see Deer while moving into Colossus. He is using the War Prism to have the 2 Immortals inside the War Prism. And this is going to be really nice for Deer if he can micro this properly. And remember, we did have something similar back in Brood War with the Rebirth Shuttle Micro, but in Starcraft2 Immortals, they don't have... You know, the Scares don't have to be microed, and Deer can pick off a lot of probes if Rain's units are out of position.
All right, the first Archon being warped in. Yeah, there's sufficient defenses here to deal with the Immortals, I feel. And, oh, nice job picking off the Observer. On Deer's end, he's going to move forward here with the double Immortal drop, trying to do a little bit of harassment, picking off a few workers. Nexus Cannon goes down, and this, yeah, looks like the War Prism going to be scared away pretty easily there for now. Just kind of chilling out on its own.
Yeah, but still doing a nice job. That bought him enough time to get up to 57 probes and get a 3rd Nexus behind this. And he is also getting a Colossus behind this. It's not like Deer is behind in this game. He's just gaining economic advantage as the time goes on. Rain, he might know that his opponent does have the Robobait inside the main base, but he doesn't have the economy to transition into Stargate Army to get the Tempest out against the Colossus.
I think that's what we do see Rain going for a timing attack here at the third base. If he can kind of get in a good position and pick it off, I could actually see this working for him. He's still down in supplies, though, 110 to 128. I think that besides the Colossi, though, he's got charge and just about completed, I believe. And oh, here we go. He's moving in. The charge is done. Time Warp goes down. We have a surrounding flank from Rain as well. He's going to try to pick off those Immortals. Can he make it work, though? Now the probes are being pulled off the mineral line as well. I think that, though, Deer, I think he's got enough units here. He should be able to hold, but not without losing a lot of workers in this situation. But Rain still pressing forward. He does not want to give up the attack yet. This single lone Colossus left. Going to be forced away for now.
Yeah, well, he does have a lot of Immortals behind us. He's going to go for the Nexus right now. The Immortals, 3 Immortals from Deer, just firepowering on the Zealous and the Stalkers, and that's enough for Deer to hold off the attack.
Now, once again, Rain, his attack is thwarted. He did pick off a good amount of workers, but there's 3 expansions for Deer to quickly warp in additional units. The 2 Colossi are going to force Rain to play on the defensive now, at least for the time being. Supply-wise as well, we do have a pretty solid advantage for Deer.
Yeah, Rain did pick off a few probes from his opponent here and there, but the problem is Deer is still leading when it comes to the probe count against his opponent. There's a Warp Prism going inside the main base once again. If this picks off a couple of probes inside the main base, Rain is going to be so far behind in this game. If you look at the army composition, Deer is adding in Colossus. It's not even like Rain is going to go for the Stargate anytime soon, and this DT can put Rain so far behind in economy, but there is a cannon inside the main base.
The cannon going to easily thwart this potential attack here. Warp Prism trying to drop. It could warp in additional units here. This could change things around. Rain's going to have to prepare for this attack accordingly. The DT picks off the cannon as well, survives. Just 5 HP left here. And Rain, he's got to bring that Observer back to help defend.
Well, there's another DT at the third base as Rain, he cannot focus on multiple locations. He does use a splash. Well, he does use the Observer to take out the DT inside the main base. He needs to run over to the third base over there and take out that Dark Templar immediately.
Now, the DT actually could do a little bit more damage here, pick off those extra probes as well as the cannon, but looks like Deer is moving across the map. He's getting into position as well. You know, there's not too many units actually here for Rain to deal with this. And, all right, there we go. Picks off the lone Dark Templar there. But the problem is this attack from Deer. Well, he actually doesn't have too many units there. Just mainly Immortals and Colossi here. Another potential drop going on in the main. The Warp Prism will get picked off there. That's a real question. We do see Deer trying to split up his opponent's army. It's not going to work, I don't think, in this situation. But there we go. Rain is going to be forced to defend here. He needs to warp in a few more units. Make an additional Archon as well. There's now no cannon powering, no pylon powering that cannon as well, and we do see additional reinforcements being warped in here from Deer, the Stargate being relatively useless at this point.
Yeah, here's the problem. There's up to 4 Colossus, 5th Colossus being added on right now. And if you look at the unit composition, Rain, yes, he does have a lot of charge loss, but those are going to melt to the Colossus in the main battle, especially with the Time Warp.
Oh, the Time Warp in almost perfect position here. The charge loss, they're just slowly getting swiped down, lower on health from the Colossi there. They're going to be forced back now. An excellent double Time Warp as well. Pretty much completely immobilizing Rain's army here. Look at how many free shots these Colossi are getting on this charge load army.
Yeah, and because of this, the third base is going to get unprotected as it's going to get taken out, no problem. Rain going to try to defend against the Colossus, but there's just too many Colossus in this composition.
GG
is called as STX takes set number 2.
Indeed. So, Innovation and Rain both losing their matches. I'd say that Deer versus Rain was a little bit less predictable in the first, but we have had the 2 main ace players from each team getting taken out here. Now, Deer has managed to tie up the score 1-1 between STX Seoul and SK Telecom. The next match is going to be Mini versus Parting, a PvP on Naro Station. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back after this commercial break.